So here's what I want you to know about Birdie. When I had an opportunity to first meet Birdie, I just really loved not only her brand and what she stood for, but her courage in creating a business that also has an online component, an online income stream. And we're going to dig into that in just a little bit, but I want you to take a moment as you're listening or watching this to really open your heart, your mind, and stay curious to what is possible for you in this interview with Birdie. Okay. This is really important for you because Birdie is not only just a serial beauty entrepreneur with brick and mortar studio locally, but she also added an online income stream, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Welcome to the Elizabeth Yang Show, where we explore the benefits of diverse leaders expanding your brand authority online to create massive impact and happy sales. Now, let's dive in because your legendary life is waiting. Welcome. This is Elizabeth. And in this episode, I have a special guest who's also a client of mine. In just a moment, you're going to get an opportunity to meet Birdie Lee, Blair Beauty. I call her the Beauty Empress because she's so amazing. But I'm all about inspiring you to stop being the best kept secret in your local town with your business and to step up your visibility and your sales online. Help me welcome a Birdie here with Blair Beauty. Hi, Birdie.
Hi.
I'm really excited to have you here. Can you just share with the audience a little bit about who you are and what you're all about?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Birdie Lee. I am the owner of Plea Beauty LLC. I have since then branched out and created Blinked, which is the tattooing side. During COVID, I developed a love for the actual art of tattooing as well. So that's how Blinked was created. But yeah, Plea Beauty, I've been in business now for a little over 6 years. Blinked now, it's been about 2.5 years since I incorporated that into the business. But I offer a variety of things. So on the beauty side, where I started with nails, and then I since then had added lash extensions, permanent brows, and body contouring. I am offering a lash extension mentorship as well. And then with the tattooing side, I specialize in fine line tattoos, and then I also have a tattoo mentorship that I have as well with that.
Yeah. So, would you consider yourself a serial beauty entrepreneur, Birdie?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Birdie is not only just a serial beauty entrepreneur with brick and mortar studio locally, but she also added an online income stream, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I think it's the book and busy beauty mentorship that you're doing, that it's a hybrid of online and in person. Can you share with our audience a little bit about what that program's all about, just so that people get an idea of when I say hybrid, what that really means?
Yeah. So whether it's beauty or tattooing, the program, it's ran the same. So there is an online portion that I have implemented where it's self-paced. The student can do it from home or on the go on their own time. And then I do have an in-person training that they would have to come to. That's where we do the hands-on. I actually physically show them how to do the lashes or the tattooing, whatever it is that we're doing. They would get hands-on with me right there. They get to work on a live model before they leave. And I also then demonstrate a model for them to watch as well so that they can watch and take notes. And then the other part of it is the weekly mentoring. So that we would meet once a week via Zoom. And that's when we would go dig into more of the nitty-gritties of any sort of licensing requirement, the mindset shifts. We would work more on
The
how
market.
they start their
Yeah.
businesses, get
Yeah.
marketing, sales, how to bring clients in. We would dig through all of that through the rest of the mentorship.
And I love that too, because one thing that I want to just make sure that we touch on is that when we talk about marketing and sales for Birdie, she's also talking about your grand opening, like how to launch, how to get out there so that you start attracting clients immediately right after you get certified. So when I say to you that this is a hybrid business that Birdie is running, and she clearly has a lot of different beauty services that must be delivered in person, what she's also added is a lot of flexibility with her online Booked and Busy Beauty mentorship, which is the online pieces, for example, learning certifications, all the requirements for lashes or tattoo, all the way to a hands-on apprenticeship, come in, do the work, get coaching and feedback right there at a demo on technique, all the way to then moving online and just getting mentorship and coaching with mindset, marketing, and sales. I mean, this is the beauty of a business that gives someone like Birdie flexibility and options. And I often say, if Birdie can do it, you can too. So I just want you to really open yourself up to the possibility that this is also possible for you too. So, Birdie, let's dig into you a little bit here. What were some of the things that you were struggling in your business before we started working together?
I would say my biggest struggle would definitely be with the mindset. And this is something that I'm sure everybody can relate to. There's just things that we think about and do every day that we're not aware that we're doing it or thinking about. So, like, for example, when we first met, I kept telling you, I know how to bring in clients, I know how to make money. I just need to know and figure out how to scale bigger and better now. And then as we started talking, you were like, "Oh, well, yeah, you know how to, but like, do you really though?" And because I was just like, in general, I knew what to do because obviously I was, for the most part, fairly successful, but then I was so stuck in my ways. And that's why I plateaued for so long because I didn't know how to move forward anymore, how to grow anymore. And so I knew a little, but I didn't know enough. And so the biggest challenge was trying to get myself to think outside the box more and learn more about the marketing and sales piece because I thought I knew, I really didn't. And so just really tapping into my mindset and figuring out like, okay, actually I'm not able to move forward because I keep thinking that I can only do this. When in actuality, there's so much more that I haven't even tried yet because I just didn't know what was there. So that was definitely my biggest struggle.
Yeah. So, what ultimately made you decide to work with me? So, talk about any resistance, hesitation, or objections that you had in your head when you were looking at, gosh, what do I need to do next to invest in myself to grow? What ultimately made you decide that, hey, I'm going to work with Elizabeth on this?
Yeah, see, and that's the thing, right? At the end of 2022, because I looked at my numbers and I've been doubling my sales every year, which is great. But in the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, I'm not really increasing my sales compared to last year. I'm staying the same, which is not bad. But I kept telling myself going into 2023, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something so I can scale bigger this year. So I kept telling myself that I knew I had to invest. I didn't know how much or who or what or where or when, but I just knew I needed to do something. And so then my friend had she first shared a post with me that you had posted. And
Okay.
I was like, I kinda like her, so I followed you right away, just
Yeah.
from the one post, and then all she said was, "Hey, I've been working with her. I think you should check her page out. She has a lot of cool, like, free content." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's exactly what I need." But she's like, "I know you've been looking to grow, so I think she's a good person to follow." And so I followed you, and then I started paying more attention to your posts, and I just love how motivational and inspiring all of your posts were. And it was as simple as a Facebook post. Like when we think of motivation, we don't necessarily go to Facebook. We'll go to TikTok or YouTube or we'll try to
What?
read a book or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
something long form. And so, yeah, so I started following you and then I saw, I believe it was your one of your free master classes. And I was all for that. I joined, I was starting to do some of the work and I was like, dang, I think this is what I needed this whole time because I've never worked with somebody before. Didn't even hire an accountant until this year because I kept telling myself I could do it all. I'm just going to do all of it. I'm going to save my money. I can just be everything receptionist, marketing, accountant. I'll just do all of it. And
Yeah.
then, but the truth is, I mean, once you get good at what you're doing and you start to become busy, because this is my 6th year in business, and I just got to that point where I was like, dang, I really need to start building my team now. I need to find somebody and the people and the resources to one, take care of all the work that I shouldn't be doing. I need to focus more on my sales and not the bookkeeping stuff anymore. That was step one. I got that taken care of. And then I started following your stuff and I was like, gosh, yeah, I think I need this person in my corner because like this is probably how I'm gonna scale because I've never done this before. I've never looked for a coach or a mentor or anything. It's always just been books, videos, podcasts, and it's gotten me this far. But like I said, I plateaued, and so I decided to book a call with you, and it was scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was very scary because, like I said,
Well,
I've
scary. What came
well,
up?
because I just knew from because I followed other coaches and mentors who offered the same types of things, right? Like they'll post really knowledgeable, inspiring posts, and then they'll host free master classes. And I always joined them. I always did the work. I always got something out of it, but it was just not like at the time, it just wasn't something I was like looking for yet. So I just followed. But then this year, when I saw yours, then I was like, yeah, I've been telling myself that I need to do something. And I think this is it. So just from experience of like joining other master classes in the past, I knew it was going to come with an investment amount. And I've invested in myself and in my business before, but never to like this sort of like level though. And so I already knew coming in that I was going to be scared of like what you have to tell me. But it's like everybody said, if it's not scary and you don't feel uncomfortable, then it's not even worth it. So then, yeah, so we had our conversation and I'm sure you saw me. I was hesitant, but I was like, you know what? It's like it's now or never. So I just gave you my card and here.
I think it's always scary because you just don't really know what to expect, right? But I want you
Yeah.
to take that moment with me because I think this is really beneficial for those that are watching or hearing this or listening to this. Is like any of us can work with any coach, right? But for you, Birdie, when you think about that moment, if you can remember, what was it where you're like, yes, she's the one that I want in my corner?
I think the thing that really tied me down to like say yes to you as opposed to going back to like the other coaches that I've been following is I'm just going to be honest, you are a very strong Hmong woman. And I've always been like inspired by the strong women in my life. And so I think because you can always read the energy in the room, right? Even though when you and I meet, it's like online. I just feel like our energies just like aligned. And I knew that because I'm a very strong, independent Hmong woman myself. And so I just feel like in order for me to level up and get to the point that I need to be, I need to work with somebody who has also been in my shoes at one point. And that was you. I didn't even know you, but just from the things that I've seen online and your posts and just from talking to you in like the master class, I was able to figure out at least that much that you are a very strong, independent Hmong woman and everything you taught us in that free master class, it really just it hit home. Like X, Y, Z, that's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's what I need. I love that for you. When you think about the results that since we've been working together, what results have I been able to help you produce?
The biggest one is the increase in sales. So within the first 3 months, I was able to increase my sales about 52%. And it's been pretty steady
Yeah.
since then. Yeah. So that was the biggest one. And then for the other one would be you really were able to help me step into more of my leadership role with my business because I started as a solo entrepreneur doing everything on my own. I was the only artist. I did not have a team, but I slowly, within the first couple years, I slowly outgrew my own clientele. I couldn't take any more people. So then I added on an artist to start doing lashes with me. And the moment I added her, I was like, all right, my space is too small. So then I got a bigger place. And then I since then I now have multiple team members working alongside me. And I was still in that independent mode though, where I owned the business. And because I was independent, I was just expecting the team members to also be independent, which they were. But then I just felt like a disconnect where I didn't know how to help them grow. Like I knew how to do things for myself, so that's what I was teaching them. But I didn't really know how to be like the boss or be the leader to actually coach them how to do it. I was just telling them like, "Oh yeah, do this, 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 and this," but then I really wasn't seeing results. So then you were able to teach me how to become the leader that I needed to be for my business so that I can also then coach them how
That
to
was a
grow as
huge
well.
breakthrough for you, Birdie,
Mhm.
because and for those that are tuning in, I just want you to hear this because this was such a big breakthrough for Birdie because she's so strong and independent and she's a go-getter, is that she had to shift from being a mentor to a leader. And there is a difference. A mentor is all about giving advice and teaching and passing on knowledge. A leader can be a mentor, but to be a leader, you also have to hold people accountable, right?
Mm.
For performance. You also have to hire and fire. You also got to make tough decisions as well. And that was a big shift for someone like Birdie. But you made those changes. And I mean, it's been a challenge for you. What are some of the things that you've learned about yourself with us working
Um,
together that maybe you're most proud of? Because you had quite a year. Not only the sales increase, but
yeah.
shifts on the team, shifts with your mindset. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah, I think the biggest eye opener, I am a very strong person and I've heard it a lot of times. People say that when they first meet me before they know who I am, the first impression they always say is that I'm intimidating. And but truth is I'm very giving and I'm very caring and the people that I bring in to my life, whether you're an acquaintance, family, friend, it doesn't matter. But as long as you're in my circle somehow, I give and I care a lot. And so I used to think that I cared too much, which is why I was like making decisions where it maybe didn't serve me the best because I was just too nice and too caring and I just cared too much. But you have helped me realize that this trait that I have was actually a good thing. It was actually, like you say, it's my superpower, which is why I'm so good at what I do, which is why I enjoy mentoring so much because I do care so much about my students and about the people who reach out to me. And so I think that was the biggest thing, which really then helped me to understand going forward how I should lead my team and how I should put like my mentorship programs together too, and how I should coach my students.
That was a great proud moment. And that's actually a proud moment that I have for you too, because I just want those that are tuning in to hear this, right? Because sometimes with our mindset and our beliefs, we would tell ourselves that we need to stop being a certain way. So I remember Birdie would be like,
Mm,
I just love people too much. I just need to stop caring
yep.
too much about people. I just need to stop loving people. And I'm like, Birdie, yeah, not who you are. You've never stopped loving on people, pouring into people, and giving to people. And so
Yeah.
instead of beating yourself up, how might we reframe that and channel that in a very productive way? And you did that. You did all the hard work. You led your team. I mean, let's share some of the wins that you had with some of your team. Like, I'm thinking of like some of the new hires that you brought on board. I mean, you helped them grow their sales on top of your sales, first
Yeah.
of all. I mean,
Yep.
like, I'm telling you, Birdie did the work. And when she realized that, instead of saying, oh, I need to stop being this way, it's like, no, this is who you are. This is your superpower. Embrace it. But let's put a strategy in place. Let's put parameters and boundaries in place so that you're doing it with strategically in a healthy way that isn't going to leave you feeling tired, burnt out, or taken advantage of. You did that. So Birdie's not she's too humble to brag, but she literally helped her team grow their sales too. I think if I remember anywhere from what did the numbers look like? I remember
The biggest one was well, she was very new.
yes.
So We went from like 0, I think over 1,000 within the first like 2 months that yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, and this is like new people that just literally got into the business
Yep,
and
yep. Brand new,
not
never been in the
charging
field.
enough, right?
Yeah,
Like
never
price,
been in the field, no social media,
no presence,
like,
no idea
no
what they're
nothing.
doing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is the power of truly coaching one person pouring into another. So I just really love that about you. What is maybe a favorite moment that you might have in our program working together, whether it's our community or with me or other students from the cohort? Do you have a favorite moment that comes to mind?
I do really enjoy when everybody is in the call together and we help celebrate each other. Because it's nice when we have our one-on-ones where you help celebrate me. But I just feel like when we're all together, though, obviously we're all in this for the same reason, right? Just to grow ourselves, grow our businesses. And so because we are like-minded somehow, like just being in a room filled with like-minded individuals who are wanting to achieve almost the same goal and then just really helping each other celebrate like their wins, like big or small. It's just so empowering because it's so simple. It's as simple as sharing whatever you accomplished today. And then everybody's just applauding you or, congratulating you. But it's like, it's just something about having it celebrated that, like, it just empowers you and motivates you so much
It's
more.
definitely not normalized, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. All right. So as we begin to wrap up, what would you tell people that are on the fence about working with me or joining any of my programs? What advice would you have?
I would just say that they just gotta do it. I mean, if it's like, if they've been thinking for a while that they need to do something to make a change in their life or their business, if they've been sitting on it, they just need to do it because it it's just it's so I wanna say that it is so life-changing because obviously everything that we talk about benefits my business, but it's it's like you do it in such a way where it affects not only my business, but it affects me as, like, a person too. So it hits on a personal level as well. So as I'm growing my business, I'm also growing as an individual, and that's just so important.
100%. I mean, you are the cause, and then sales and money is the effect, right?
Mhm.
So I know that you have occasionally you offer free master classes for book and busy and how to get into the business and tattoo artistry as well as lashes. So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you online?
Yeah, so I host a free masterclass every quarter. Lashes and tattooing, I switch between the two. But if you follow me on social media, Facebook is probably best because I that's where I post more of the event type of stuff. You can follow my beauty page, which is Plea Beauty LLC, or the tattoo which is BLINKD. And yeah, anytime that I have a masterclass, I post it usually about a month or so in advance so that it gives people enough time to check their calendars and then join. But yes, I am on Instagram as well. But like I said, Facebook is where you'll get more content about everything else.
I highly recommend that if you are thinking about getting into the lash beauty space or the tattoo artist, or maybe you're already in it, but you're not getting consistent monthly bookings and income, highly recommended. The last class that masterclass that Birdie and I hosted together, she really broke down what it took for a career in tattoo artistry, running your own business, earning over $250,000. Like she literally broke it down for you. So if you're ready to really take your game to that next level, whether you're just looking to get into the business or you're looking to get to six-figure months, really highly recommend you following Birdie and attending one of her master classes. So thank you so much, Birdie, for being here today. I really appreciate you. And here's just to your growth and success. You've just been so phenomenal, breaking your own glass ceilings and
Thank
just
you.
growing your team. I just really adore you. So thank you.
Thanks.
If you are leaving this episode feeling inspired to uplevel online and make happy sales happen, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Now go out and take those steps, to build your legendary life.